some people don't know that you can, actually a lot of people don't know that you can do this early in the game, but more importantly, you can get 2 of the 3 last materials in the game. The 3 last materials in the game are Hades, Typhoon, and Knights of the Round Table. Y'all already know that I'm getting Knights of the Round Table, but I'm not going to say which one I'm going to get. It's a 50-50 shot viewer, so just take a wild guess as to if I'm getting Hades or Typhoon. Actually, it should be easy to guess if you do this like I do. But more importantly, now that we've got Carbo Nuts and Zeo Nuts, go on and fly back to them stables. Now that it's up to the feeding, as I stated earlier, give 5 to each of the good and great chocobos, so that equates to 10, and race them up to rank B. I'll be doing that off screen because, let's face it, there are a very select few that want to see the 6 hours worth of grinding that it takes to get the good, great, money ground up, wonderful chocobos and the chocobo races all into one freaking scene. That is about 6 hours worth of footage. Y'all are extremely freaking lucky that I edited this because somehow I highly doubt you viewers want to sit there and watch me fight the same enemies over and over again just to grind money. Now the Mid-El region is fairly good for money grinding, and I actually got lucky that Choco here was actually female. Actually meant to name the wonderful chocobo Choco W, just that way it's a little bit easier to keep track of, but now I've got good male, great female, great male, good female. And this is actually exactly how I was hoping it would turn out, because from now on, it's easier for me to tell which ones I need to breed together, because they're exactly parallel to each other. Let me think here. Enough of Access Hollywood, I'm not watching that bullshit. You know what, that'll do. Let me think. Now that I've got these guys, like I said, feed exactly 5 to each of them. You may have to feed 4 to them, but the big reason why I tell you to feed them the silk greens is because it increases all their stats. And the most important stat that you want to have upgraded is their intelligence. Without a higher amount of intelligence, they will be disobedient. You can't control them at all. It's fucking bullshit. Now, I actually managed to get, I think it was the Great Chocobo Male up to B rank. It's actually possible if the random stat generator, like, the guides that you look up will tell you to get the one right above the silk greens. It only costs 3,000, but in my experience, it gives you lower stats, or it gives you lower random stats. Each green that you feed to them will have a random stats given to them, like, it'll randomly increase their speed, stamina, and intelligence, or speed, stamina, or intelligence by, I don't know what the exact amount is for these silk greens, but whenever I use the regal greens, they seem to give me a lower amount, or a worse chocobo stats overall. So really, it's just best to go with the silk greens, even though they are expensive as hell. Now then, I'm going to go on and get my controller back to normal settings, and off-screen getting up to B rank for each of my chocobos, except for the Great Male, because I can get A rank on him. I actually could have gotten an S rank if it weren't for the fact that, no, right, I didn't off-screen it until I showed off the other chocobo race, like I said I was going to, but like I was saying about the, in order for chocobos to let you be able to do manual, like, you can do manual no matter what, but most of the time they'll hug one end of the wall and not let you control them at all, so really this is why I said give them 5, because it does give them a decent boost in speed, so that should be just enough for you to be able to get them up high enough, or far enough into the pack to get the win. Now, in the A and S ranks, on the other hand, like getting the freaking black and wonderful chocobos up to S rank in the A rank, and much more often in the S rank, you can have a random occurrence of having Joe race against you. Joe is that guy that I pointed out much earlier in Disc 1, and he rides his signature black chocobo, which fucking beats everything. Oh, by the way, I'll be showing that guy that was up in the, up next to the up next to that building off soon enough. But more importantly, like I said, I'll be, off-screening most of the chocobo races because it's essentially the same thing. Me going into the, short race all the way through, do it all over again. Whoop-de-doo. How eventful. So yeah, now that these chocobos have been fed, I've got those guys that I will be racing up to rank B. It's only 3 races apiece. And I may as well show off the long. There we go. Now, something to note, or something extra to note, if you have Sid in your party, and I'll be showing this off near the very end of this, Sid occasionally, especially when you get up to A and S ranks, will leave your party and ask Cloud if he could race the Chocobo instead of Cloud. Yeah, I'll be showing that off, but if you notice how my Chocobo is hugging the wall on the left, that's going to happen throughout the rest of the freaking thing because its handling is not too terribly good. Really better to just have your Chocobo set to automatic, but my way of racing is I like to be sure I've got the win. So I need to make sure that I'm as far forward as I possibly can. Now, the long course is actually better used if you have the blue Chocobo, because the blue Chocobo can run through this water area with no problem. Like, it'll run normally through that water area. But more importantly, I like doing the short one because the green, black, and gold Chocobos, all 3 of those have type advantages against the short racetrack because they don't get weighed down by gravity. The gold Chocobo can also be useful in here because you can run through that ocean without any problem, but if you want to be, or you're going to want to be very careful if you're racing against Joe, because Joe's black Chocobo is not affected by gravity or water, so it is able to keep up with you all the way fucking through. In fact, the only way I got my blue Chocobo up to S rank was because I managed to completely cheat Joe out of his win. Like, Joe is extremely freaking fast and will stay on your ass very freaking far. Like, doesn't matter how much you sprint, he'll still be right there. And I kept managing to cock block Joe right before he passed through the goal ring, or the goal line, or whatever. Either way, I'll be off-screening, getting the Chocobos up to B right about now. So yeah. Do we fade? Why, yes we do. I found out that, Oh yeah, by the way, you're going to want to say go with GP every single time, because quite frankly, most of this stuff is useless. But anyways, hey, right now, do it. There we go. Now then, this is the last race that I need to do with my chocobos in order to get them up to B rank. So this is the female good chocobo. Something to note, chocobos are actually a little stereotypical, at least in the sex department. No viewers, I don't have sex with chocobos. But if you have a male chocobo, the stats seem to go up higher than the females most of the time. Most of the time. I can't give that a 100% certainty, but most of the time, in my experience, they do. Scoot on back. Oh man. I think I'm gonna do pepperoni, sausage, extra cheese, and my family special pizza sauce tomorrow. Freaking love pizza, viewers. The only pizza that I love more than Papa John's is my homemade pizza. Maybe because it's me that's making it, but more importantly, my homemade pizza, the way I make it, it's got 4 different kinds of cheeses. It's got about a handful of mozzarella, a handful of Italian cheese, a handful of Mexican, which actually has 3 different cheeses in there in and of itself, a handful of sharp, and about 1/4 a bag of mild or cheddar cheese. So what you do is just roll out your dough, put my family special secret pizza sauce on there, which by the way I make it, it's spicy, but not so spicy. Like, it gets right on the side of your tongue, and you're like, ah, oh, fuck yeah. Then I layer on a layer of pepperoni, add some cheese, layer on hot pepperoni, add some more cheese, layer on deli-style pepperoni, and some specially seasoned sausage, and finally sprinkle on the handful of extra sharp cheddar. Then stick that bad boy in the oven. It is fucking awesome. Now this 2000 GP item, which is full of mystery apparently, is the Gill Plus. Getting that is a huge pain in the ass, and it would have been absolutely useful for this section, just so that way I wouldn't have had to spend so much time gill grinding. More importantly, let's go breed the chocobos. Now, I was holding off on saying this until this part came around. The chocobos need to be bred in a specific way. The male good and the female great will make, most of the time, a blue chocobo. I got the green chocobo out of it, and that actually kind of fucked me over, because most of the time, if it gives birth to a green chocobo, it'll be female. And vice versa. When you breed the great male and the good female together, it'll most of the time give a green chocobo. But if it gives a blue chocobo, most of the time, like 90% of the time, it'll be female. So getting both a female and male chocobo out of those, unless you hack the game, can be kind of a pain in the ass. What I do, and I highly suggest you guys doing as well, is right before going into the chocobo stables, save. Once you get your chocobo, or once you get one of the chocobos, leave, save again, and you should be able to eventually get a female and a male chocobo. Doesn't matter if it's a female green or a female blue. Either way, you just need a female, one chocobo, and a male other chocobo. Then after that, you gotta raise the blue and green chocobos up to S rank. Before going to race them, give them 10 silk greens each. Once that's all taken care of, we can